If you are a service provider, freelancer, or creative that is trying to grow your business and you've thought, why aren't more clients finding me? Who do I pitch? Who do I target with my marketing? Is it my portfolio? Is it my website? Is it my offer? Is it something else? You are not alone in wondering these things, and this video might be a turning point for you. I'm going to share with you why client work seems so inconsistent and what you can do to change that in a matter of days and weeks, not months and years. Most programs, online courses teach you the skills, right? I know you've probably invested thousands in courses at this point and you know the skill. You've learned how to do the thing, maybe even some mindset, but almost none of them teach you how to acquire clients, how to get clients step by step, and then turn it into a repeatable system that works month after month. I've worked with designers, Pinterest managers, marketing consultants, OBMs, copywriters, service providers across the board, and all of them have said the same thing in slightly different words. If you're like any of the hundreds of students that I've worked with and coached, you're probably tired of random referral leads that ghost right when you need the money the most. You're like, I thought I had a lead, but then they just disappeared. Low ticket projects that keep you busy, but in reality, they're barely covering the software cost. You're doing the work, but then after expenses and taxes, there's barely anything left to show for it. Or one of the most common situations is like you're staring at somebody's LinkedIn profile or their email address and you're overthinking what to say to the point where you just wind up not saying anything at all. So it's like, yeah, you finally found someone promising, but then you're spiraling before you ever hit send. That's exactly why I created Clients on Command. You can just ask my students who have gone through my programs before, like Loretta, who was stuck on freelancing platforms like Fiverr and was able to finally land a higher paying client using my cold pitching methods. And that one client was enough to pay her entire mortgage each month. Or Enrico, who said, I started pitching right away. I got calls, I got clients, but most of all, I stopped guessing every single word because I finally have a system that works. Or Marcos, who followed the framework that I'm going to talk to you about today. And he said, I landed my first $2,000 client, and then that client referred him to another client without him even asking. And then there's Jackie, who said, Christine helped me clarify my offer and start booking higher paying clients within weeks. These aren't out of the ordinary, exceptional cases. They're freelancers and service providers just like you who were overthinking their niche, unsure of how to price and pitch, and tired of one-off gigs and unpredictable income. But when they followed the steps and finally started to gain traction and real clients, they're landing $2,000 projects, signing retainer clients, and hitting 5K months without being glued to constant content creation or hoping and wishing for referrals. If you want those kind of results and to make real, tangible progress, not just more theory, Clients on Command is built specifically for you. You see, I'm in the trenches every day as a service provider who also mentors and coaches and guides other service providers. And things I'm hearing every day from friends and colleagues who are in this space are things like, I feel like I'm working all the time, I'm putting in the work, but I'm just not seeing results. Or I need to do something different because work is drying up. I don't want to keep waiting around for referrals or one-off gigs. And I even surveyed you guys on email and YouTube, and 87% said that client acquisition is their number one struggle. More than 70% of you said they lack confidence in pitching. And almost everyone said some variation of this. I invested thousands in a course. I spent months learning the skill, but I still don't know how to get clients to see my value and say yes. They've done the work to get good, but they're still stuck because no one ever showed them how to market what they do, how to position it clearly, or how to pitch without second guessing and overthinking every word. And that's exactly why I created Clients on Command. This isn't about being everywhere and doing everything. It's about doing the right things in the right order with built-in tools and automation that make it easy to take consistent action. So what I'm going to share with you in this video and break down is something called the 5P framework that you can use to overcome all of those sticking points we spoke about. The 5 Ps are position, people, presence, platform, and pitch. It's not just a process, it's a momentum machine. So what I want you to do is take out a pen and a paper or open up an Asana task or a Google Doc and start writing this down, because number one is going to be position. Positioning means getting clear on your niche, understanding the unique value that you're bringing to the marketplace, the problems you uniquely solve. And this is where we set the foundation of eliminating vague, generic offers and turning your skill set into something clients not only understand, but want. It's your I help who with what statement. And that becomes an irresistible positioning that clients cannot ignore. The next P is people. We're going to nail down exactly who hires and works with people like you, what they care about, and how to speak to their pain points, and most importantly, their goals. What I'll help you do is build a mini playbook for your ideal client so that your message finally hits home. A client getting your pitch or stumbling upon your profile or your website and saying, that's exactly what I need, that's what we're going for. The third P is presence. We're gonna craft a simple but trust-building online identity. This is not about building some perfect brand. It's about making your LinkedIn profile, your social media profiles, your website, your headlines, your portfolio, the bio that you send to be on a podcast. It's about working that all together, having an elevator pitch that positions you as a pro, even if you're still pivoting or figuring things out. I hate to break it to you, but you're never going to feel 100% ready. But when we can get clear on the value you offer and your positioning, this will sustain you until you do have it figured out. People need to see you as a safe bet before they pay you for your services. And that's exactly what we do in the presence step. The fourth P is platform. Based on those previous P's, we then go to platform to figure out where you'll show up and how you'll connect with those people. In my program, you are going to be connecting with real decision makers. No more theory, no more testing out your skills or practicing or getting critiques from a coach. You are going to be connecting with people. And we're going to base that on your industry. This is not one size fits all generic advice. We are going to figure out whether the platform you choose is going to be LinkedIn, podcast guesting, directories, email, some mix of all of those. We are going to help you build a visibility plan that you will actually stick to. What we're going for here is visibility with purpose. It's not shouting out into the void or just showing up on every platform for the sake of saying that you are on there. And the fifth P is pitch. You are going to send confident, personalized outreach using a mixture of my plug and play templates, but also custom GPTs that I built that make that process fast and automated, because I know if I can get you moving quickly without losing the personalization, you'll actually stay consistent with it because you'll see results faster. You won't have time to overthink. What we're going to do at this stage is get eyes on your offer, your message, your follow-ups, so you can just stop second guessing and start closing. The fastest way to gain traction is to talk to real people that can pay you. And what you're going to be left with is a repeatable, personalized system to attract premium clients, price your services with confidence, and stabilize $5,000 to $8,000 months without building a giant audience, without nonstop posting or just hoping someone finds you. You see, before I ever had freelance clients, before I ever built my paid copywriter platform, I was somebody working a 9-to-5 job, dreaming about escaping and working on my own terms with freedom and flexibility in my schedule. And the first step that I took was building my website and my online presence. Not because I had it all figured out or knew exactly what was going to happen next. As a matter of fact, I was unemployed when I built my website, and I gave myself 90 days when my unemployment checks were running out. And I basically said, I'm going to see if this works. And if it doesn't, I'm going to have to start applying for more full-time sales jobs and go back to sales, which is the career field I had left behind. And I built that website not because I knew it would pay off or I knew that I would get ROI, but because I needed to see something tangibly that reflected back to me this new identity I was stepping into as a service provider. I needed something to reflect the version of me that I was trying to become, even if I wasn't that yet. I was done with my corporate sales career. I was being micromanaged. I was completely burnt out. And I was sick of trying to force myself into this mold of this person that I just wasn't. I knew that I had the skill set to help people, right? I knew I liked to write. I knew I could deliver the content writing service, but I didn't know exactly how to explain that in a way that would make people want to hire me. So I started small. I bought a domain, I picked a niche. It was software and technology at the time, not because I was necessarily some type of tech pro or interested, but I knew I had used sales technology during my job in corporate sales. So I figured, well, I was an end user. I could probably write about that, choosing that as my niche. I looked at how other writers were positioning themselves online and said, okay, I'm going to say something similar to that. And that first version of my site, it wasn't perfect, but it was a foundation. It gave me the clarity to start pitching, the confidence to talk about what I did, and the proof to show the skill through my portfolio to show clients that I was legit. And from those small beginnings, I went on to write for those big name tech brands that I had on my list, like Thinkific, DocuSign, Zapier, notable logos that built credibility on my website that allowed other companies to pay me high rates to write content and copy for them. I've ghostwritten for founders and executives. I have helped the marketing strategies of 6 and 7 figure businesses. And then I went on to help hundreds of other freelancers and creatives step into their own professional identity online. But here's the thing, none of that happened because I was the best writer. I had never taken a copywriting and content writing course other than some free HubSpot courses to understand marketing a bit better. It happened because I knew how to position myself and communicate with clients in a way that they could hear what I was saying and say, yeah, that's exactly what I need. Let's work together. Because contrary to what a lot of service providers feel, right? They always feel they need to be more talented or get better. It's not skills necessarily that you have to improve in terms of your craft. It's about learning how to communicate your value in a way that builds trust, books clients, and breaks you out of that imposter syndrome spiral for good. Because I'm telling you, once you set that goal of landing a premium client that's paying a good portion of your bills, and then you have that repeatable cycle, it doesn't really make sense for you to have imposter syndrome because you've already proven to yourself and to others that you can do it. After helping over 250 service providers use this framework to land high-paying clients, testing this system on myself for the past 5 years that I have been a self-employed service provider business, I have developed a proven process that helps you get out of that learning loop and into consistent action that gets you paid. So this 5P framework that we'll be working on together, the first P is positioning. This is where we craft an offer that people can understand and that they actually want. And this is where a lot of freelancers go wrong, because maybe you feel like you're multi-passionate or you don't know exactly, what niche you want to dominate. So instead of confidently communicating your value, you wind up listing like a menu of services, and it just makes prospects unsure of what you do and what they're even getting. So inside the sprint, we are going to clarify what you do. That's what they're actually getting. How to explain your offer in clear, persuasive language. And more importantly, what makes you different, what makes you valuable. Sometimes we call this a unique value proposition, or just a differentiator. You don't need 10 years experience to get this right here, okay? So this is where most freelancers, I would say, are getting stuck right now, because instead of clearly stating what you do in this persuasive manner, you kind of just have this list of services hoping that something will stick. But in 2025, that is no longer enough, okay? Because the market is flooded. AI tools are writing and taking over other activities faster than ever. Budgets are tighter because of our economy and fear and all the stuff around the changing of leadership in our government. Buyers are just more skeptical. People do not want vague. They do not want vague. They do not want to figure out what you offer. They want to know 3 things instantly. And that's what I'm going to share with you, okay? If you can just understand this, you will be ahead of a lot of people. So they want to understand, and this is your customer, and she's a girly. Can you solve my problem? Can you solve my problem, right? So this is when someone comes on your website, they talk to you, they're on a call with you, they're looking at your stuff, they want to know, can you solve my problem? Do you specialize in helping people like me? And the reason why that is valuable, even just beyond the whole like niche conversation, is just, it's like, can I trust that you've helped other people who have a similar situation to me? And then the third is going back to that UVP. Why you? They're asking, out of all the freelancers and service providers, the 50 other people in my inbox, what makes you the person I want to choose? And that's why positioning matters. And when you nail that, you make your value obvious and you move from maybe to let's talk. And it happens fast. So Stacy had a very similar situation. She was unsure how to position her nonprofit consulting background, and within one session, we reframed her offer, clarified her niche, and when we restructured her website, and she said, Christine helped me reframe my positioning and identify actionable steps like restructuring my website, refining my outreach approach, and now I feel confident pivoting towards targeting SaaS companies. Okay, the second P is presence. This is where you build a good enough web presence, because to be honest, this will improve and grow over time. And a lot of people spend way too much time here wanting to make their web presence look perfect when in reality, it's just impossible. You cannot overthink every word. Now, this is your lightweight, as I call it, personal brand, because once you have this website, then we go to your LinkedIn profile. Because once we have this here and we have the messaging tight about, like we mentioned before, your positioning, once that is clear on this website, then we take that message and we make a personal brand. We create your online presence. So it'll be on your website, it'll be on your LinkedIn profile, it will be on your offer doc, the marketing materials you send to clients, it'll be your portfolio, it'll be your Instagram profile, it'll even be your podcast bio. The more we can just repeat this message over and over and over again, that's really what creates a strong brand. Your LinkedIn headline will be properly branded. We'll have you positioned in that way. We'll have your elevator pitch and positioning statement. And the thing is that there is no perfection required, right? We know that we can just get this up and going, make it good enough and be fine. It's like Nicole, my client, who I wrote her website and her messaging for her personal brand photography business. Now she's pivoting into coaching. And she said, Christine took the time to understand our mission, vision, brand values, and then was able to write copy that matched our voice perfectly. And her work motivated us to invest in a full website update. Then I wrote Nicole's email sequences, and she actually booked a $2,900 shoot. And then for her coaching business, which I wrote the welcome email sequence for, somebody booked coaching and a shoot, which was $4,000. So this works. Okay, the third P is pipeline. This is where you find real decision makers, not direct message decision makers, that can afford to pay you now. And really, a sales pipeline is just moving a lead or a prospect through however many stages your sales funnel is. So it's like inbound lead via the form on your website to a discovery call to paperwork, meaning them signing contracts and invoices, to closed won. That's what we used to call in sales, working with the client. Maybe 5 is like onboarding. Okay. Now we want to be feeding people into that first stage of our pipeline. So what we do at this phase when we focus on building a pipeline is building a niche specific leads list. It should take you less than 2 hours to do this, especially with AI. We're going to use AI to speed up the research process. And then we're going to create a repeatable process that then we're going to create a process that you can repeat every month. So when my student Marcos understood how to fill his pipeline with clients, he said, hey, Christine, just sending you an update. The client that I gained through your pitching strategy has now referred me to another coach in his network, meaning, by the way, Marcos writes for coaches. Feeling super blessed and mind blown. Thank you again for what you do. And then that client went on to actually refer him to someone else for another $2,000 per month client. So again, once we get this machine working, it is genuinely rinse and repeat. And then it starts to kind of power itself, where clients will be referring business your way. You'll be getting the word out about your business. The word will be spreading, which is what we want. The fourth P is pitching. This is where we send personalized outreach that actually gets responsive. We do not sound desperate and we do not sound robotic or AI'd in these pitches. When you know what to say and how to follow up without overthinking, that is the key to consistent outreach that gets responses. So what this is going to help you do is finally become visible to your ideal clients, right? Because I'll tell you right now, I would not have gotten the big name logos on my website if it were not for pitching. So yes, leads are going to come inbound. That's amazing. But we want to be proactively targeting a list of companies that we would love to work for. That would be our dream to work for. In sales, we used to call this a target account list. And that is what we are going to be building together in this sprint. So this 5P framework that we'll be working on together is not just theoretical strategies. It's not hundreds of hours of modules, and it's not some airy-fairy brand building formula. This is a done with you sprint built on proven frameworks, templates, custom GPTs that are going to guide you step by step. And when you pair that with real-time support and one-to-one feedback, this framework helps you break through overwhelm, helps you to start marketing yourself with confidence, and actually helps you land clients faster without burning out and getting discouraged. So you can keep doing what you've been doing, which is probably piecing together free pieces of information, methodologies from different course creators online. You can even take what I've said in this video, piece it together on your own, and genuinely, I'm here cheering you on. But if you want my eyes on your offer, if you want to stop overthinking and finally start landing clients using a system that has already worked for other service providers just like you, then I would love to invite you to join the first round of Clients on Command. This is a 4-week done with you sprint designed to actually get you into action. No more theory. Because let's be honest, you don't need more learning. You don't need more improving of your craft. You already have the core skills. What you need now is proof and real-time practice while getting paid. You need to learn how to package, market, and sell what you do in a way that makes clients say, yeah, I need that. So when you join Clients on Command, this is what you can expect. Each week, you're gonna get a focused lesson that breaks down one core step of the 5P framework. It's gonna be delivered in a short, fluff-free video that I'll deliver to you in real time. You're going to get custom GPTs and templates that allow you to execute what you just learned immediately. I'm also going to be hosting a live Get Unstuck call where you can workshop your messaging and get direct feedback. But more importantly, and this is why I'm adding this because I have heard your feedback, is that you are going to get one-to-one direct DM support from me. So there's something magical, I think, that happens on a one-to-one level and not having to show your work to the group at large. But more importantly, it's really just to stop you from those spirals that happen when you are left on your own. You're also going to be implementing a free, very easy to set up system that allows you to track what you're doing. You're going to have a customizable pitch tracker. It's going to be your lead system that allows you to track what's working and actually repeat it. Because again, we want to create systems, not just one-off wins. By the end of the 4 weeks, you're going to have a niche, an offer, positioning that's going to make you feel proud and confident to start pitching. You're going to have a simple online presence that makes people trust you, even if you're just starting out and you don't feel super confident. A leads list of decision makers who can actually hire you and pay you the rates you need to make this a sustainable thing. Personalized outreach messages that actually get responses, and then a clear, repeatable process that you can get clients with every month. So this is a beta round of Clients on Command, which means 2 things. Number 1, you are going to get the most access to personalized support that I've ever offered up until this point. I am delivering this live and refining it based on your feedback and what we experienced together during those weeks. And it's also going to be the lowest price that I will ever offer a program like this, because after this cohort, the price will be changing. If you want in, you have to work quickly. I'm only going to be working with 10, maybe 12 students max in the Clients on Command program because of the personalized nature of this cohort. I already have several students that have raised their hand for this program, so you need to act fast. make decisions, stop overanalyzing. If anything I have said in this video resonates with you and you're like, yeah, I could really use something like that, send me a message. There's no pressure. You can email me at support@christinegamoka.com or send me a DM via Instagram, and I'm happy to help you make the decision and point you in the right direction for your specific scenario. If you have the skill and you're just ready to get paid for it, this is your moment. Let's build you a system that gets you clients on command. This isn't another passive learning experience. This is a we're gonna do the work together experience. You will pitch, you will post, you will follow up, and you will get paid. With my eyes on your messaging, with real-time support in the DMs and AI-powered tools that are guiding you every step of the way, you are going to see traction, because courses will teach you the what, but they very rarely teach you the how, right? The how to move forward, let alone offering you individualized support. To sign up for the Clients on Command live cohort, click the link down below in the YouTube description box. And remember, this sprint is designed for forward motion. We are not going to sit around perfecting things. We are going to ship, we are going to pitch, we are going to tweak as we go. Remember, this is about doing, not learning. I hope to see you in the cohort where I'll get to know you better, and I cannot wait to guide you along your journey and usher you into this new era. All of the information about how to register, the dates, the price, everything is in the link in the description below. And again, feel free to message me if you have any questions at all. I am happy to help you make the decision either way.